with the hazelnut cream.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think I'll go there again just for this. Maybe the photo will not really from the well one.
The food is a little bit mediocre.
Yeah. I mean, that's Americans.
Yeah.
It's not available there. Slice.
Ooh. No, it's really expensive now.
It wasn't that expensive
No.
before. On the edge, no, I checked for the one with breakfast.
Oh.
I never checked. Oh, I didn't check it.
I think I should have bought them earlier.
Yeah.
I think the prices are really flexible in the US. I think the price is really high. You see that in the market. I think I checked it.
It wasn't cheaper before.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also remember you are not too set on the right?
Yeah, like if you want to do it, you can find something. But I'm also happy.
Yeah, no, I think.
But I mean, you want to do it.
Yeah, no, I think what I'll do is when I get back from Miami, I'll land in Newark anyways. So I'll just take the train and then do it. Then we don't have to worry now about getting it. And then I can also book it in much more. Should we get some food or should we kind of skip lunch?
No. Are you hungry?
No, but I think I could eat.
Maybe we can text them and go for dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, we could go somewhere.
how about burger?
5 minutes?
For example. Or a different burger, so. Yeah, but 5 minutes was good. Yeah. Let's do 5 minutes.
Yeah, then we can wait. tiredness is starting to kick in.
It's great.
I woke up at 8. I woke up at 8.
When did you go to bed?
2:30.
I like the coffee, then I have to stop it.
Yeah. Like the other, there's one time where we went home a little bit earlier and I early. We basically didn't eat anything and I just had a coffee. I'm like delirious almost like that. I was a bit too hungry and then I drank a lot of coffee and then I was just walking around in Manhattan like crazy. I walked all the way from the pier to Penn Station. And then also crisscrossed through.
You really needed to walk.
Yeah.
There was this coffee from this flavored bean roastery, right? Where they have those flavors.
Those
And then we went to the train station with the harmony.
Oh, we're sitting in the park, right?
Yeah, that's right across the street where they have where we went down the wrong station. So.
Oh, right.
The New York Yankees just was already 3 in a row.
Really?
Yeah, the whole family.
All different websites and all Yeah, that's not too bad. Not that we're going next week, but like this. Yeah. That's the downside of being on 10 years. Sometimes you don't have to do everything that you want. Where is it coming?
That one across the street. Maybe we should go to Chinese Republic.
What?
See this news satire about how a group taken 900 corporate leather of falling back.
They show you some of my work. I realized
All of the 3D images.
yeah, like everything is
overleaf. On this paper. The one that you currently got.
Yeah.
And run, I thought.
Yeah.
Not blind.
It's a bit dry because I cannot put that much pictures on the finger. The space is really limited. Yeah, factorized it, so you should be able to see.
I love that.
Yeah. I wasn't too busy, so I spent like half an hour.
Which program did you use?
First I was working with Corona.io to make some nice diagrams, but then my supervisor switched to PowerPoint. And you can only export it to SVG, and you cannot really put SVGs that nicely in the template that they have.
Yeah.
So I found this program that worked perfectly to. I did those online converters, but they didn't work.
Yeah.
But then I found this program called Inkscape. It's kind of like a factor editing program. You know, and I could use that to.
If you really want to do the overkill, change the font size, change the fonts for the text.
No,
I
I
use
used
the same.
yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, so the main idea is that you have two views of the vertebrae. Then I use kind of a foundation model to extract features and map them in a certain way to a latent space, and then equal it to 3D. And then I do some innovative things with it.
Like, I mean, you always
see
have to.
metrics?
Yeah, what, wait a second, more. Because I can do it.
Architecturally it's pretty simple. That's not the main innovation. You want to see metrics? Are you familiar with 3D based metrics? So you have dice, that's kind of an overlap score. So it's basically intersection over union, like the 2 points, the amount that intersects divided by the amount that overlaps. And a score of 1 is perfect, and a score of 0.8 I would say is pretty good. They have also Hausdorff distance, which is a metric measuring.
Dice was the first one, right?
Yeah, dice.
AHD is the Hausdorff.
Yeah. And you have Hausdorff, which is the when you look at the kind of the order of 2 shapes, then the distance, like the closest distance for each point on the ground truth shape. Then the Hausdorff distance is kind of the worst distance, kind of like the outlier. It's the worst deviation in terms of surface distance. And then Hausdorff 95 is not the 100 percentile, but the 95 percentile of these distances. So it's kind of a more robust.
Oh, and the data set, of course, already exists, so you compare it with the.
I compare it with some other approaches. I re-implemented them or reused their codes and then I assessed on my own data. I trained and assessed them on my own data set. And these are, I think, nice.
You have your own data set.
No, I use the public one and also a little bit of private data. But this is the ground truth map, and I overlaid it with kind of a heat map to show where the largest errors are. And this top one is the prediction by my model. So based on 3D data, it generates these kind of segmentation masks. And I have 2 views. These are medical terms, but they are kind of like standard views. Coronal it's kind of
How do you get the real data?
run through. That's annotated by doctors. I have CT data originally, which is 3D scrollometric data.
But this kind of, and that's okay.
And they indicate for each voxel basically does it belong to a vertebrae and which classes. But I needed this 3D data, so I created these 2D images by kind of simulating a camera, looking at the CT data, and those are called DRRs. They kind of mimic X-rays. So I use those as the input, and then the clicks. Like these are the DRRs, the cross DRRs, and this is the annotated 3D shape basically. But yeah, you can see these are like selected near the median score. And you can see that it measures pretty closely.
From like this. So you basically have the data set, you have the and you already have the correct reconstructed.
Yeah.
Then you reconstruct and compare it to the
Yeah.
and then like the red areas mean your
errors are-
reconstruction is the errors.
Yeah. And then in training, it compares the predictions to graph rules, and then based on that, it's through back propagation, there's all the ways to make sure that the prediction is better. But if you look at these shapes, they're pretty close. Only small
Like the small
details. So I was really happy with that. And for example, these kind of C vertebrae, which are in your neck, towards the C1 is like the most superior one. There you see that it's kind of where you get the other shape, but then it's fine, and some of the details, they're really dark. But then that's also the question for clinical interpretability, like this would be used as kind of a navigation system for surgeons during spine surgery. But spine surgery usually focuses on the lower vertebrae, so that would be kind of more niche shapes. And you also don't need full shapes to be accurate for this. Usually what they do is they drill screws into your vertebrae to kind of fix them together. So what you need accurate is kind of the pedicle, that is kind of the connecting part, connecting the posterior part to the vertebral body. Those need to be accurate, as well as the kind of front vertebral body, because they need to know when to stop drilling. So I didn't analyze it, but that would be really interesting to see. It's kind of get a metric for those areas to see how well they are reconstructed. No, I created some Python scripts. I use PyVista. Do you know PyVista? No. Do you know VTK? No. Okay. PyVista is basically a wrapper for VTK. VTK is something called visualization toolkits, basically. And this wrapper makes it more easy to copy. I've coded it a little bit, but But, oh yeah, I wish I could show you my slides. I asked one of my colleagues to kind of make a cinematic rendering of some of my predictions. And those look really cool.
Yeah,
because that makes
next week.
I don't know if there's more pages I can like disclose things in the document. Still on deductions as well. I don't know if that would help or not.
That's why I really like medical imaging, because you both have the visual aspects, like you can see the output you're actually doing. It's not just numbers, but you actually get a visual output. Usually in the medical domain you have less data. So that's always a challenge, but in this case I had quite a bit of data. I have a section of the data set that I used. Yeah.
Nice topic of cellular innovation.
Yeah.
Like actually like contributions already in your PhD or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more taking the data and comparing it. It's like things like really nice and work nice and work, but it's also made for this kind of work.
The only downside is that this whole AI research field is now so congested that there's already so much stuff. Like basically, I could compare my paper against 4 other methods, but those were like 4 out of maybe 15 that were already doing kind of like a similar thing. So it's not that niche what I was doing. And then the innovative things that I added, I would say they're somehow a contribution, but it's also not that I took the models that they already there, took them like a leap forward. So
what were your contributions for the model changes?
So I think my main contribution was that I included some shape prior information. So my idea was that it's a bit high level. It's this thing. So this kind of.
So the rest of the architecture that's basically already.
No. I made the whole architecture myself. And also using this as a kind of a backbone to extract features that's kind of novel, but has been done before for other tasks. Basically, I got inspired by a colleague. And it was kind of a first try, and then it worked pretty well, so I stuck with it. I would say the most innovative thing is this kind of idea where I try to include some shape prior information in the model, because you can imagine that these vertebrae, they all have like a kind of a regular shape, and they all look somehow the same. So what I did is I trained a flow matching model. Are you familiar with generative models?
Not.
Okay. You know, like the image generators, the ChatGPT,
Yeah, I mean, like what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, they basically learn how to go from noise to generate.
We had it a little bit, like I never that deep into the topic, but I mean, of course, like you have some coding and find
basically, these flow matching models are kind of a lightweight version of that. And under the hood, they kind of learn the distribution of your data, which is really nice, because then you can use those models to basically calculate the likelihood or the log likelihood of the sample that I generated, and then I add that as a regularization to the loss term, and that would hopefully make the model make predictions that are more likely under the data distribution, and hopefully that would steer them into more anatomically plausible shapes. So this model learns a mapping from random noise to a data sample, and I don't know the whole details, but it basically learns that by kind of predicting a velocity vector that can push random noise into this data sample. And it models this, I think, as an ordinary differential equation in a way. And then the nice thing is that you can kind of solve this differential equation backwards, and while doing so you can aggregate the log likelihoods or estimate. I might be talking a little bit of bullshit, I don't know the whole details, but that's how I understand it.
You really go deep into it.
Yeah. But I think the nicest thing is that I somehow found this thing in the literature by brainstorming a little bit and ChatGPT a little bit, like what kind of research is there and how is this done already, and then found this topic, and it is a bit niche, like it's not too many publications.
Yeah, but
so then I knew
there's some publications that you can build on and compare, which is nice. I mean, like it's already an improvement compared to the other 4 methods, right? That you reviewed. Alright, like it performs better than.
Yeah. But that's always a bit
And the question is it performs by so better? It doesn't really.
Like for one model, I had the code, so I could train a model as they did with my data. that's like really representative of their performance, and I beat them. But for the others, I had to re-implement their code looking at their paper. And of course I can only do so much. Like for one model that was supposed to perform the best, I couldn't get the performance past a certain point, and then it was because the paper didn't clarify all the details correctly, or it seemed a bit weird to me how they did it, and I tried different ways, but
the improvements from your architecture now compared to the one that's already existing, is it like a really small amount, or is it like relevant, like significant?
like the runner-up is 0.067 and I'm 0.078.
And what does that mean concretely for the image reconstruction?
On average, the reconstructions are 2% better.
What does the concrete mean? That's 2% better than the details? Because like
but that's always the trap. Like one metric cannot capture all the information, so that's like a combination of the metrics would tell you that maybe the shape is
or which values would you have to reach to make it applicable to like real world?
That's really hard to say. I don't know if it's threshold.
Yeah, right.
Some people, it really depends per case. But I think in this case, it would have been nice if I had those other metrics that really measure, the error in these regions is at maximum so many millimeters. Because I think then you can make a really clear definition for clinicians. They probably have already some definitions, the error cannot be more than 2 millimeters.
So those are the typical definitions from compliments.
Yeah, I think there are probably some kind of definitions from spine surgeons that say, okay, if I want to have such a navigational system.
But you can never define this, like you can never prove this in an absolute manner, right?
I mean, you could. Like from the perspective?
Yeah.
No.
Like they say the error can only be...
They make it up, right? But from their experience, I think.
No, but like, let's say you develop this, then you want to ensure that like this guarantees you accuracy below above 99% for the reconstruction. Then you can only prove this based on the radiation data you have.
Yeah, but if you would move it to actual use, you would do some validation studies. And then it's tested outside of the normal data that it has seen.
How big will those studies usually have to be?
That really depends. There are like some FDA. I don't bother with that. That's like. Yeah. I don't even know if the people in my office care about that.
Yeah, right. Like
sometimes they have